Okay, so I want to talk about the MIDI processor. Another new option I created is Crossfade, and also created some other MIDI processors, the note delay that I'm going to also showcase here. And what I'm going to show you is the Crossfader, which allows you to crossfade from one track to another. So I already have here 3 tracks, and each track has a different instrument. So this has the Polyana, this has the MDA GX10, and this track 1 also the GX10. So if I play now, I'm going to play a chord. So what I'm doing, I'm using my MIDI keyboard to crossfade from one to the next one. So you can see here on the mixer that's crossfading. So to do that is actually very easy. I just create the 3 tracks, and here on the far right I have my track playback. On the 3 tracks I just select track 1, actually this here, track 1, 2 and 3. They are set to MIDI channel 1. And if I go left here on the MIDI processors, I have set up the crossfader on each track. So for each track I used a different slot. So track 1 is using slot 1, track 2 slot 2, and track 3 is using slot 3. And all the other settings I use the same. So I have a total of 3 tracks. You have to set up this manually. Just set up the number of tracks you're going to use this MIDI processor crossfader. And a MIDI controller I'm using is 21 on my MIDI keyboard. If I go to the minimum value, it's going to ask to learn, and I just move on MIDI controller and setups. And the smooth is set to maximum, so it smooths out the MIDI controller, otherwise it gets very clicky and well, you can hear some stepping on the audio. It's not very good. So usually a value of above 70 is going to clean up the audio pretty nice. The default is 80, but I'm using 1, which is a very slow smoothing, but it works pretty well. And another option is the MIDI processor delay. Let me create a new project here. So I'm going to add here a new instrument. I'm going to use the digital piano from MDA. And I'm going to go to the MIDI processors, and I'm going to add the note delay. The note delay has several options, and what it does is it adds a delay on the notes events, but you also have the option of feedback and echo the original note, and also transpose the echoed notes. Let me put it very high. And you don't have to hold the notes. And you can also use the feedback as a regular delay option. let me try another value here. So that's a very handy feature. And another thing I changed, let me remove this one. So, okay, no MIDI processor here. On the charts and strum, let me open up. I have added a few more options. So now it's waiting to learn the first chart, so I'm going to press the notes. You don't have to hold the notes. You just have to play and wait 2 seconds for it to record. So there you are. The notes separate. If I press C1 on my keyboard, there's a shard. So what I added is the loop option. So when you use the strum option, let me put it, and especially with the ping pong option, the loop does a very nice effect. Kind of like an arpeggiator, but if you change the rate, you can produce some very nice effects with that alone. And you can also use more than one MIDI processor. Let's say if you want to use let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's say I want to use the keynote switch, and after the keynote switch I'm going to use another options. You can, because you can use as many MIDI processors as you want. So let's say here I have the charts and strum, and I'm also going to use the note delay. Of course, now I don't have enough voices to process this, so it's cutting out the voices because I'm generating a lot of note information, but it's fun. I don't think the MDA piano has options of voices. Let me check, but I don't think it has. I think it has a fixed amount of voices. Yeah, it doesn't show here, but you get the idea. So just go to almost the last page here, and you can I'll add a bunch of MIDI processors, and I think that's it. I just wanted to show the crossfader and the new option on the short and strum, and also the note delay. And also added a key velocity split, which you can now use to set up a very custom key zones for the track with velocity zones and keyboard zones. And let me see what else. The round robin I talked about on another video, and also the transpose I added an octave option. Nothing fancy, just an octave option. So that's it. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.